Good morning. This is Chirag, and I'm from Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai campus, and I'm going to talk about database as a service. First, what is it? To understand what is it, we must first be familiar with the concept of cloud computing and its advantages. What exactly is cloud computing? Cloud computing is a method for delivering information technology services from one user to the other or from one location to the other remote location, maybe really far away or maybe nearby. How is this information or these services are transferred? These services are transferred through internet, which is known as cloud. The term cloud computing comprises of two different words taken together. Cloud means internet and computing means the processes or the services that your computer provides you. So cloud computing is using the internet for different processes and services for your need based on your needs. So here we've got some images coming up to show you what exactly cloud computing is. So over here you've got some devices connected to the cloud. This is your cloud, which is your central image, or which is the thing to be focused on right over here. And your other devices are connected to the cloud in a way or the other, and they make use of the services that your cloud provides. So over here, your cloud is your internet. You've got a lot of devices. So let's consider an example. Suppose you've got you've got to take a printout, but you don't have a printer and you need to submit the document as soon as possible. Suppose you are the device on the left, which is at exactly I would say 9 o'clock, the device at 9 o'clock, and you don't have a printer, but your friend who is kind of far away has a printer. So what you do is you access the cloud, send a mail to him. He receives the mail and then takes the printout for you and gives it to you on work or on in the college or in the school. Breaking down cloud computing. Well, the main idea behind cloud computing was of taking all the heavy lifting involved in crunching and processing data away from the device you are going to work with or you're going to sit on, and moving it to a specific place wherein you've got a huge clusters of computers far away, some far away space in the cyberspace. So what happens is your data which is to be processed or your service which is to be processed is taken away, far away from you, to some different place wherein you've got clusters of computer doing the work for you. According to a research, it states that $191 billion US dollars are going to be invested, or that will be the whole amount of the cloud computing firm. Different types of cloud computing. Cloud computing is not a single piece of technology just like a microchip or just like a cell phone. Rather, it's a system primarily composed of three services: software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. First, what exactly is software as a service? Software as a service is a specific phenomenon wherein you get to access the software when you need. So, an example, suppose you need a software to be accessed. So you access the cloud to access that software, on your device. Suppose you don't have your device, but then again you need to access the same software. What you do over here is that you again access the cloud, which has got the software already. By that, you can access the software on a remote device. You need not necessarily install it every time. Next is infrastructure as a service. In infrastructure as a service, what can be infrastructure? Infrastructure could be like any external devices that you need. So when you are using cloud, you don't always need to have different infrastructures like repeated infrastructures. Suppose need a printer or some number of printers in my company, but then I don't want to have a lot of printers. Instead of that, I could have some reduced number of printers at a specific location in my company, wherein all the other devices, all the other laptops, desktops in my company can be connected to the um, printers, and all the other devices and desktops in the company can access those printers when they are free. So that is what is infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service is the same as infrastructure and software. The only difference is it provides you a platform for creating software that is delivered via the internet. Advantages of cloud computing. See, now we know what exactly cloud computing is. So advantages of cloud computing are pretty sure that you know them right now. Cloud computing, as I told, it's basically accessing internet for different types of services that you want. Cloud computing services. So over here, I would say cloud computing. Okay, we all use email. Email is a type of cloud computing. And then as a user, I can upload my images, files, backup my files and images and other specific data which mean a lot to me. Just think, this is my phone. What if my phone crashes? I've got a lot of contacts. What I do is that I link my contacts with my Gmail account. So that is a type of cloud which is going to store all my contacts. Second is reduction in cost factor. Reduction in cost factor is one of the key point when you are running a big company. You're going to save all the money you can. When you use cloud computing, you can save money in different forms. You don't need to purchase a software more than once. You can just have a software running on the cloud and all your other systems accessing the cloud to run the software. The same holds good for infrastructure, for different external devices. Before the before the cloud became a viable alternative, what companies used to do was companies used where they were supposed to purchase and construct and maintain costly informational management technology and infrastructure, which was pretty bad. But now all companies need to do is have a cloud, have all the specific services on the cloud, access them whenever you need. Reduction in cost, reduction in complexity of the space. Sorry for that. Now, when you are an individual, as I have already told you about your images, your other documents, or your other type of files that you need to access on a remote place, you can use cloud instead of carrying your whole device over there. Now, disadvantages of cloud computing. See, we know when we have something good, we are also going to have something negative about it. So, disadvantages of cloud computing. With all the speed, innovation, and efficiencies, we've got few disadvantages on this topic, and one of them is security. Security was a very big issue with cloud computing. hackers could easily access the cloud servers, and they can easily get your personal information or your company's information, which is really vital information, and could result in a huge loss when it is published publicly. The other problems were just think if the servers fail. If the servers fail, then your information in it fails too. And what if the servers, what if there's no way to bring back the servers, no way to bring back the information that you trusted to be on the cloud, or the services that you trusted to be on the cloud is now lost. You can't access them. The other one is ultimately when you have a new technology, you need to get people familiar to it, and it takes time and some money and some kind of work to get to make people know and to make people use it. That is also an issue. Cloud database. What exactly is cloud database? We all know what exactly this term database is. Database is a collection of either structured or unstructured data. So a cloud database would be collection of structured or unstructured data which is stored on a cloud. That's what means in the line a private, public or hybrid cloud computing infrastructure platform. That is your cloud. Two cloud databases environment model exists so far. First is the traditional and the other one is database as a service. In the traditional model, what you see is a virtual machine. Your database queries or your database is is going to be uploaded in the virtual machine and your virtual machine is going to do all the query functioning and is going to give you the results that you actually wanted. That is your virtual machine model. Now, what is database as a service? Database as a service model is a fee-based subscription service in which database runs on the service provider's physical infrastructure. That is, your database is going to run on the service provider's physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure, what does that mean? That would be a specific place where your database is stored, or some disk, some computers which are going to access your queries, process them. Then of course you've got different service levels. That's what it means. Different service levels are usually available. In a classic database as a service arrangement, the provider maintains physical infrastructure and database. That's what was mentioned earlier, leaving the customer to manage database contents and operation. So all the customer has to do is to see what my database is supposed to contain and the other type of operations that can be performed on my database. Or alternatively, what can happen is that a customer can set up his own arrangement, his own maintenance and management thing for the database. What your service provider is going to do is he's going to see the database content and the different types of operations that can be done on them. Here we've got an example. Here, suppose I'm the user. I have got a query, but right now my database is kind of present in different data centers, you see. So first what I do is I get my query on the cloud, on the internet, go to the data center, access which node I want to access actually, get the data, fetch the data, return it back to the cloud, get to the other data center again, get to the exact node, get the data, fetch them, group all the data fetched, and I get the output on my screen. Cloud database benefits. We all know benefits of cloud computing and they are no different when compared to cloud database benefits. Elimination of physical infrastructure. Now you don't have complex physical infrastructure. You just have basic infrastructure, your computer setup. There's cost saving. Again, there is instantaneous scalability, performance guarantees, it is efficient, it is super fast, and specialized expertise. I'm sorry, that was for your DBAAS benefits, your database as a service benefits. It is instantaneous scalable. On demand scalability is one of the advantages of database as a service. Performance guarantee is that your performance is definitely increased when you have your data kind of stored on the cloud in different nodes. So you've got parallel fetching, parallel processing, and then of course your time taken to fetch and do the operation on the data is reduced as there's parallel fetching and parallel processing. Specialized expertise, latest technology, failover support, and declining pricing. These are all advantages of database as a service. Cloud database architecture. Cloud, beta, Cloud database architecture, like traditional ancestors, can be divided into two broad categories. First is relational and non-relational. We all know what relational is. Relational database is basically written in SQL structured query languages wherein your data is represented in forms of tables, wherein you've got columns and rows with some interrelated data. Wherein in non-relational database you've got data wherein there is no relation, generally written in NoSQL. How does a cloud database work? Must be the next question. How does it exactly work? From a structural and design perspective, a cloud database is no different than the one that operates on a business's own on-premises servers. The only difference is that where it exactly lies. Instead of having your database infrastructure, physical infrastructure in your own company or wherever your company is located or in a specific room, it'll be stored far away from you or kind of nearby from you, but you're going to use internet to access it. That's the only difference. It's same as storing your database in your system, but now over here, instead of storing the data in your system, you're going to store the data in some other system which is more reliable and which is going to give you high efficiency and better performance. Thank you. That was all. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for viewing the video.